groups of and lots of. We say times, we say multiply, but that doesn't really mean anything to a child. Tables, these are tables, things you sit at. So if you say tables to children, what's that? So we can talk all the time about groups of and lots of. We start multiplication by doubling, basically. Lots and lots of doubling. Children get doubling. So we do that practically, double 3. And they don't even realise they're learning their 2 times table. So that's how we start with multiplying. Let's do 2 of them. Then this is how we introduce multiplication. And we introduce multiplication in year 2. We introduce it as what we call arrays. And here we've got our groups of and our lots of. And that's how we introduce it. So here I've got the multiplication 2 multiplied by 5. I've got 2 lots of 5. Here there's one group of 5. And here is another group of 5. I've got 2 lots of 5. And because we do loads and loads of counting, 5, 10. They know the answer's 10 because we've done lots and lots of counting in 5s from year 1. So that is how they understand it. They've got a visual image in their head of what multiplication is. And of course, arrays, we can turn it the other way. And of course, 5 multiplied by 2 is the same as 2 multiplied by 5. So we can show them I've got the 5s and I've got 5 groups of 2 as well. And children really, really like that. And we make get the pegboards out and make lots and lots of arrays with those. So they really understand that this means groups of. And then we go on to other times tables. We start with 2s, 5s and 10s in year 2. And then in the Key Stage 2 they move on to the other tables. And I think Mr. Gove wants us to know them all off by heart by year 4. Great. I'm going to cut that bit from the video. So here we've got our 4 times table, or it could be our 5 times table as well. Tables. We don't really start talking about tables until children really have that image of an array in their head. They understand it, what it is. When I was at school, I was made to learn my times tables. I had no idea what my times tables were. They were just something, they were in a list up on the wall in my classroom. I knew I had to learn them, or I was going into real trouble, and I had a test each week on them. I had no idea. I had no idea that it was repeated addition. And that's what we teach the children all the time. It's repeated addition. It's 5 lots of 3. It's 3 and 3 and 3 and 3. So that is what we really teach them. But then, once they've got that, they do need to learn their tables. And so as much practice as we do with them, because that really helps them when they go on to multiply larger numbers. So we do lots of practice with our tables, but they're understanding what they are. Then, into Key Stage 2, end of year 3 maybe, beginning of year 4 definitely. We start multiplying 2-digit numbers. And we use something called the grid method. And your children might come home and say, we've done the grid method. And you're thinking, what on earth is that? Children love the grid method. I don't know why. I'm mad. Basically, this is where our partitioning, again, is really coming in handy. We need to partition to be able to do this. We partition the larger number, and we multiply it by the 1-digit number. So we say, we've got 10 and 10 and 7. That's obviously our 27. 3 times 10. 30, 3 times 10 is 30, 3 times 7 is 21, so why they need to know their tables quite quickly, and then because their mental addition is very good by now, they can say 30, 60, 81. And that is how we teach multiplication. Then, once they've got good at that, they can recombine the number a bit more. They don't need to partition it so much. So instead of a 10 and a 10, here we've got 20. So they know this is the same as saying 3 times 2 times 10. So they can say that is 60. This is into year 4 now. And then, if we're doing really well, we get into 2 digits by 2 digits. And again, they've got a really good understanding of multiplying by multiples of 10. So they know that is 1800. And we teach them sneaky little tricks like looking at how many zeros there are. 60, 420, 14. Okay. And we do a lot about, so if we know what 7 times 6 is, we know what 7 times 60 is, because it's 10 times bigger. We do a lot of that. So even though this is just one thing, we do a lot of work which actually goes into it as well. And then we add it up. So here we've got 1,860. Here we've got 434. And then we add those together. 2,290.